1953 to 1983, if there was ever a Camelot, that was Camelot.
It was almost religion. Every Sunday was like going to church.
It's not just the game. We were emotionally attached.
People wonder, well, how did we get to the point where they pack these vans up in the middle of the night and move out of town?
The Baltimore Colts are gone. Moving vans pulled up to the Colts complex in Owings Mills last night. Movers emptied out the complex.
A police officer here told me that he understands that the vans were headed for Indianapolis.
When one thinks of passionate and dedicated fan bases in the history of the NFL, the fan bases of the Packers, the Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, the Denver Broncos, Washington Redskins, and Love Ya Blue Oilers immediately come to mind. But there is one fan base that has a legendary and mystical status that no other NFL fan base possesses, and that is the fan base of the Baltimore Colts of the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s. The fans of the Baltimore Colts were known as being so insanely dedicated to their team that their stadium was known as the world's largest outdoor insane asylum. It is indeed a bold claim to claim the Baltimore Colts fan base, the Baltimore fan base, the best fan base in the NFL. But there is evidence to support that claim.
It is the irresistible force and the immovable object, not us. I'm Jim Simpson with John Brody, and we've got a crowd behind us. John, I would say that this is one of the worst places for an opposing team to play.
Having played here several times, Jim, it is the worst place. It's the greatest place if you're the home club in Baltimore, but if you don't want to play against them.
All right.
There was near pandemonium in the third quarter when a David Lee punt touched Larry Walton, number 49, after Tom Vaughn had called for a fair catch, and the Colts recovered in the end zone for an apparent touchdown. No, said the officials. It was ruled a touchback since it was the Colts and not Walton who had given impetus to the ball. It would have been the Colts' ball had they recovered on the 1. But it was ruled Lions' ball and brought out to the 20. And the Colt faithful halted play for 15 minutes, voicing their opinion.
And a defense from the crowd. What the fans here in Baltimore would love to see would be Elway yanked eventually by Dan Reeves and things continue going the way it has gone.
It might happen if he seems rattled. I imagine it would be depending on the way Elway's playing, but I doubt that John reacts to situations pretty well. Now he's a little delay a game, that'll cost him about a foot. That's not a big problem. What is the problem is they don't have good field position. Baltimore's a young team, has everything going their way, and he's got to climb out of a hole.
By the final score, the Giants in overtime.
Violation of the 30-second count.
Over Atlanta, 16-13. Washington beating Philadelphia, so the Skins bouncing back from their loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Cleveland over Detroit in the fourth quarter.
That's a good time to have a big game for Sam because they've had a little trouble.
Chicago defeating Tampa Bay. Second down, still about 19.
I think he may get his chance to kick a field goal because if they can just move it 4 or 5 yards, they've got it inside a 50-yarder.
Denver rushing for only 14 yards on 10 carries. And Elway out of a shotgun. Now the play is whistled. Some angry Broncos and Colts bumping each other.
I think we've got a little, listen, you can't hear very well. And I think it's another too much time, and that's one of the problems with calling them from the sideline. And then on top of that, the crowd noise. It's been tough, and it just keeps the confusion level very high.
Delay of game offense, still third down. So another delay of game penalty against the Broncos.
Big 5 yards. I mean, Carlos still had a chance to kick it even 51 yards from there, but now they've got to pick up a completed pass. They've got 14 for a first down.
And the Broncos looking to do it right in the infield area of the baseball configuration here at Memorial Stadium.
Steve Watson hasn't had a ball thrown his way.
Always stepping up and overthrows.
He was trying to get Watson.
Greg Bracelet got a piece of it. And again, the crowd reacts to the Baltimore defensive effort as the Bronco drive has been stopped.
So often happens on reverse flow plays.
Number 95 led the defensive charge for Baltimore.
I don't know if they've got